Hello everyone, Videos I back again with another edition of What's on Deck, looking at everything outside of Kickstarter that's going on in the world of playing cards, which is not as much as what's going on in Kickstarter because there was almost 20 new projects on Kickstarter this week alone, 18 actually I believe. But one of them had been on Indiegogo before. Another one was more of a drinking game, but it was still a deck of cards. Anyway, still a lot. Um, Also, I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, from Kickstarter, the Modern Warships deck did fund. It made the funding. I think it was due to a lot of resellers at the end coming in, like PlayingCards.net. I know pledged for it, and possibly others. I put it over the top. Personally, I think it's okay as a deck, but not as a Kickstarter deck. Not for, whatever they were charging, the $10, $12. If it was like a USB-C produced deck for like $4 or $5, yeah, that would be fine. But for what it is, but a Kickstarter deck for like $12, not so much. Anyway, um, let's move on. Oh no, I want to see what this says. This is gonna be good. I commented on here on the Federal 52 because Jackson Robinson has decided not to accept my pledge to that project and has given me my money back, regardless of what I want. And I obviously wanted the deck I pledged for it. I didn't have anything negative to say about it, like many times. And he has turned around and turned it into a negative issue for himself. Oh yeah, let's look at this. Let's get a few things here. um, Federal 52 / Legal Tender Part 2, Take 3 or 4 isn't exactly groundbreaking nor innovative. I don't need a $72 tuck either, but more power to him for putting together as many fanboys as Google Pay. Also printed by himself, so he minimizes the cost and maximizes the ka-ching, right? And look at that, profits $25,000, etc., etc. Let's move on very quickly. I mentioned there I was done backing his projects. Yeah, okay, nothing this time. Obviously, Jackson's still upset with me over a previous project, which goes to show that Jackson will take the time to passively aggressively block someone on this forum, but he sure won't take the time to come here and face his critics directly, and I'm not missing out apparently, which is fine. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Jackson Robinson, all you need to do is come on the forum or post an update and address the issues, address the critics, do something, You're going downhill fast. You might be getting a lot of money, but at the moment from projects, but it's only going to go downhill from here, I think. And this is what he had to say on Instagram. This guy had a chat with Jackson Robinson a few weeks ago on Instagram, and this is Jackson Robinson's reply. And by the way, like what he says there, I think most of the collectors who started through Kickstarter owe it to him through his Federal 52 original edition deck, and now this is what happens. There will always be negativity on UC and Eddie cards, and there is no reason for me to spend any time there as it serves no purpose. The best way for people to speak is with their wallets and not their keyboards. Except it does serve a purpose, because if people stop backing your projects because you're a dick, because you don't respond to negativities and criticisms, you're losing business, you're losing money. So it does serve a purpose. And look at that, this guy says, we should stop buying his late delivered, low quality, falsely advertised products. I agree. That's exactly what all of the legal tender was. The actual advice is give me your money and hope for the best. And if hoping isn't your style, let's mutually pretend the other doesn't exist. I just think these comments are funny. Oh, translate. This is the translation by this guy of what Jackson Robinson said on Instagram. Translation. People on United Cars actually call attention to the mistakes I make, so ever since the legal tender project, my bruised ego and I stay away from there since I can't handle constructive criticism. So I'm just going to design the text the way I want to without any feedback because there's enough suckers out there who actually pay me for the ridiculous prices I ask for my decks. 100% agreed. Prices are ridiculous on his decks. It's about time people on the forum open their eyes to this. And yes, he is not paying attention to the mistakes people are pointing out and the issues with regarding everything and all that stuff. And yeah, he does have the right to refuse goods and service to anyone, and that's fine. But I think I said in the Kickstarter video I did, you're an artist. Artists have to deal with people either loving or hating his stuff. Not everyone's going to like his stuff, and there's always going to be criticisms and even negativity. And if you can't deal with that, get the fuck out. Is what I say. Anyways, his job as professor will be short-lived if he thinks people are going to continue to support his work in years to come with that attitude. I agree with that. And so many have stopped. And time will tell as his corporate greed slowly takes over. And I agree, he has gotten greedy over time. He's been asking more and more money for stuff. Not only that, he's producing stuff in China through uh, expert point guards or legend because it's cheaper. And that means more money in his pocket, in his wallet. He doesn't give a shit about all you backers, any of us backers. He only gives a shit about making money and more money in his pocket. Yeah, that first and last project was legal tender. Bad experience for him. So many issues with legal tender, a lot of misleading advertising, and he hasn't addressed any of it. And that was my biggest criticism with legal tender, and that's what caused this whole problem. And I don't know if Bruno is referring to me or Jackson. But whatever. Let's move on. I apologize for ranting again. Next up, oh no, not another rant. um, we got the Cardistry WTF deck. This is from DeVoe, of course. Apparently, it has a secret. What is it? I don't know. He's not showing us the face. There's some question marks. Not showing us any faces, which concerns me a little bit because I wonder if it's going to have any faces whatsoever. But it's coming to Kickstarter soon. Next level in cardistry. What exactly that means, I have no idea. But it is hypocritical for DeVoe for years to bash the cardistry name, call it XCM, Extreme Card Manipulation, and whatnot. And then all of a sudden he starts using the cardistry term. That's kind of hypocritical. But this just looks like more of the same. We've already seen 3 or 4 cardistry decks. I don't know why we really need more. We'll see what the secret holds, what it is all about. I'll keep you updated. Should be coming soon to Kickstarter. It doesn't say when specifically. The second edition Jaspers deck by New Deck Order is coming soon. Somebody's helping out with that. Um, First edition. Oops. There it is. The Primeval edition available. It's already available in Asia. And actually, so it launched in Asia on August 26th, and yesterday internationally on their website. And they are sold out. Also, I had this other edition, the GDCM edition, which is limited. Doesn't say how limited. It's got gold foil. I'm a little bit disappointed at that because he didn't actually advertise that one, I don't think, like he did the other one. $38. That sounds a little bit pricey. I'm sure that Singaporean dollars, but still pretty expensive. We're both sold out though, not a big surprise. $18 for a deck. Man. Alright, move on though. Let's move on. Very quickly, try to see. I'm scanning to see if there's anything else to mention. I think I mentioned the Lucky Draw deck last week. There is these Whispering Imps Worker Editions, WhisperingImps.com, which I've probably mentioned. It's basically a reprint of sorts of the Whispering Imps decks, limited to 500 decks. That's kind of ridiculous. I think that's the limited edition one's limited to 500. The Workers is more standard. Like I said, it's more or less the same as before. Some minor differences here and there. Decent price. The limited edition, the Executive Workers, which has got gold foil and I guess red foil on the top case. It's just a different top case. It is obviously more limited. $6.95 for the Workers edition. $25 for this edition. It's on sale now. They also got sales on the original editions, the Black Edition, the Special Edition. All available. Labor Day sales, I guess. Half price. That's bullshit. That's not even worth $50, in my honest opinion. $480. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Also, I want to mention I got an email the other day from Art of Play. There is, they have found a way to reduce international shipping costs, apparently. So, I'm interested in seeing that price the next time I place an order there. See if it's actually better. Still waiting for these Bicycle Ombre Edge Magic Live 2017 decks to pop up. Not a whole lot new going on, unfortunately. Check a few sites out. There's this coming soon from Third Party Industries. It's the Lunatica. Coming after the delivery of Eva and Sins. Looks pretty interesting. It kind of looks like he's taken some of the elements from like his first deck and incorporated into this. There's two different colors for Sarah, orange and yellow. The Equinox and the Solstice. I'd be surprised if there isn't a third one. And there we go, reminiscent of the Good and Evil decks. And it departs from the traditional J Vinyl style we've seen over the last few projects, except it is kind of the same style for the core cards. They're just different figures. I mean, you still get the busty cleavage on the females. Just some of them look like aliens. Well, it's not bad. Look forward to checking out. Not sure when it's coming. Also, Daniel Madison sent out an email with information on some new upcoming decks. These ones right here. The Hellions was the first of a series of decks, with 3 more decks. They are the Martyrs, the Saints, and the Confessors, which is kind of an odd name. But not bad. Looks kind of interesting. And those are the emails I got. I noticed some new decks. One carrot deck available still on private reserve at Hocus Pocus, $30. Bicycle Nebula decks have been printed. They're available. $21. No, thank you. It's too expensive. Dota, DOT, Dota 2 playing cards, DOTA2. I mentioned those before. They're available. Hocus Pocus, $8. $6 if you're $5.95 if you're a member. I see the red stripe decks are available. Zero interest in that personally. And Tessellatus, grid typographic, a lot of Kickstarter decks. Tally home master classes, legal tenders, etc., etc. Very quickly, I'll just look at a couple more sites here. Still got a few more deck reviews to get to today. I've been recording deck reviews like crazy. Okay, playingcards.net. They've got the tally holes, they got the Martins, both colors of the Mirage playing cards. Green, that's not green, I think that's blue. I consider it blue. Etc. etc. And collectible playing cards, of course, use the code VGS832. Save 10% on your order. There's that Nebula deck again, the Dota 2 deck. The Lux Redux is available, $12.95. Also the Bicycle Vintage Classic, which might have been a Hocus Pocus, I might have missed that. And Tessellatus and Talios. This one is the latest from collectible playing cards, which I will get in the near future. And it's pretty nice. There was another one. It was the like a modern classic deck, and this is a vintage classic. I forget what the name of it was exactly. Very nice back design. Nice distressed weathered faces. Custom aces. I like it. I recommend checking it out. Use a code like I mentioned. And I'll see you next time with more. Thanks for watching. Stay with me. Come on. Why does ours take so long to turn off? It's so complicated. Damn it.